And you're very welcome to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. They've done it again. Seriously. I kind of I don't know what's happening. I honestly don't know what's happening. I've got a lot coming up for you tonight, but I'm going to kick off with the fact that they tried again. In California last night, there was a black SUV with guns that made it through all of the checkpoints. So, as you know, Donald Trump last night was doing one of his rallies in California. Okay. And the police have said that Donald Trump's rally on Saturday night in Coachella Valley in California, they stopped what the sheriffs suggest might have been a third assassination attempt against the former president. I mean, I don't mean to giggle, but what is going on? Seriously, are they that worried? Really? Are they that worried? The deputies stopped suspect Vem Miller in a black SUV around 5 p.m., about half a mile from the rally, after he allegedly managed to make it through the initial security checkpoints, claiming that he had VIP and media credentials. VIP and media credentials. I think if there was something going on, I think if Donald Trump was here in South Carolina, if he was doing a rally in Greenville, and I think if I asked to get VIP credentials, they'd probably say no. Now they've no reason to say no, but it's very hard to get VIP credentials or media credentials. I mean, I've gotten media credentials to go to sports games, to take photographs. A lot of people know I do a lot of photography, but to get to a Trump rally, they're saying that the Riverside County Sheriff Chad Binico said that at the press conference he had a press conference on Sunday, that they stopped Miller's SUV in disarray with an obvious fake license plate. So there was a fake license plate. So hold on a second. So let me get this right. So this guy now, he had a handgun. They don't say what kind of handgun, and he had a shotgun, and he had multiple magazines and multiple rounds in his vehicle. Okay. And he managed to make his way through one of the checkpoints. Now, if anybody has anybody, you can call me. Don't forget, you can call me on the WORD talk line. I want to hear your thoughts. 800-905-0989, or you can get me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, which is 71307. Really, really want to hear your thoughts on this one. What is happening? How is it that somebody? Okay, let's just bring it down a little bit for a second, okay? If you're driving your vehicle down I-85 or on 187, any of them, you're driving your vehicle, okay? And a deputy comes up behind you, or a highway patrol officer comes up behind you. Anybody comes up behind you in law enforcement. If the DMV, or not the DMV, the Fish and Game, SC, the DNR, SC DNR. That's the one. That's the words I was looking for. Letters I was looking for. It's been a long week, folks. I'll tell you about that later on in the show. But if the SC DNR come up behind you and they run your registration plate, they will know if there's something wrong, if there's something going wrong. If you've got a registration plate on the back of your vehicle and it claims that your vehicle is a white Land Rover Discovery, for argument's sake, except you're driving a black Tahoe, that's red flags everywhere. So how did somebody manage to get within half a mile of former President Trump with what can only be described as a means to attempt an assassination attempt? I don't get it. I don't understand. To me, it just seems weird. I don't. Is there somebody helping these people? Listen, I'm not big into conspiracy theories. I'm not. I mean, last week on the show, we were talking about influencing the weather, and I've done a lot of research on it. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe there's I mean, you can see the clouds, and I'm not going to get back into that. I'm not going to go all the way back into that. But are they trying? Is there somebody on the inside? Is there something happening? That's what I want to know. Is somebody trying to help people? I mean, so first of all, a couple of weeks back, Donald Trump was playing golf, and no, we'll go back even further again into Pittsburgh, where somebody actually got a shot off. Somebody got a shot off and hit Donald Trump in the ear. All right, that was too close. Okay, then we'll cut to a few weeks later. Donald Trump is out playing golf, and somebody managed to get very, very close to his golf course and possibly could have taken a shot. And now here we are in California last night, about 5 p.m. A black SUV manages to get within half a mile of former President Trump. I'm just, it doesn't make any sense to me here. And you can tell I'm getting a wee bit frustrated because, I mean, is something, are they getting that afraid? I want to know what the Democrats are hiding. They seriously think that they're going to win the election again. Now, if you look at the polls, they're neck and neck at the minute. Trump and Kamala are neck and neck in the polls going into the polls. And don't forget, there's all early voting starting this week as well. And I'm going to be telling you about that as well later on in the show. But they're so Kamala Harris is doing nothing. She is currently the vice president. She's doing nothing. She is not doing anything. She is going around laughing aimlessly. You know that maniacal laugh that she does? She's going around doing that. Okay. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. All right. Yeah. Okay. Look, he's down in Florida. He's looking at what the devastation that Milton caused. And I hate to hear that. I really do. I hate to hear that there was another hurricane came through. But it's they're not promoting themselves. They're not getting themselves out there. They're not pushing. They're not ensuing confidence in people. Remember, folks, on the 5th of November, 5th of November, it's not that long away. We are now in October. We are on the 13th of October. It is less than a month away, okay? In less than a month's time, people are going to ask you to go and vote. Okay. And what you've seen lately, the fact that they are so hard pressed to hurt President Trump because another assassination attempt, this is the third one, and the fact that they're not doing anything else. The people that are now in power are not doing anything. And the thing that I need to understand this is that the people that are in power now saying what they're going to do when they get in power, does that mean that they're not in power? Is somebody else pulling the strings? Is Barack and Big Mike back still in the White House and they're pulling the strings? Is that what's happening? There's a lot of stuff is about to happen in the next couple of months. All right. If Donald wins the election, which I hope he will, really do. I've lived here in South Carolina for 7 years. I've lived through two presidents. Okay, I moved to South Carolina when Donald Trump was in power, and gas prices were cheap. As you know, I like to go hunting and recreational shooting, and bullet prices were cheap. Everything was cheap. Cost of living was cheap. I was calling people back in Ireland, and they were saying, "Oh, how's America going? It's brilliant. I love it. Everything is so cheap." House prices were down, and good houses for good houses for low prices. But now in the last 4 years, or the last 3.5 years, nearly 4 years, people have said to me, "Oh, how's living in America?" Yeah, no, I love living here. It's great. I really love it. But prices are getting expensive. It's getting a little bit more expensive to fill my truck, and it's getting a little bit more expensive to shop for the food. And taxes a little bit more expensive, and there's a few different things that are a little bit more expensive, and I can't see why. I can't see why everything is after getting expensive all of a sudden. On the text line, Odi, there is not a Carolina. Oh, there, no, yeah. Well, no, yeah, it's the SDNR. Sorry, Jim. I did connect myself, but there is the Highway Patrol. Yeah, they're saying they're trying to snuff him. They're trying to get rid of him. That's what they're saying. Another texter to the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. They are worried about retribution for what they have done. Now, there you go. Hit the nail right on the head. Absolutely right on the head. They are terrified, absolutely terrified for retribution for what they have done because well, in all fairness, texter, they haven't really done a lot. Nothing good anyway. When I come back, do we want another president who can't talk? You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Hey, Harold, how are you, buddy? See, Harold, that's what I was thinking as well, man. That's seriously what I was thinking. Oh yeah, I stay. Any new watchers or whatever, I stay on the stream even during the ad break. So if you want any comments, feel free to comment. Whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about it definitely. If you want to phone in, you can as well. 800 905 0989. I'll get you on and we'll have a conversation. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's crazy. I need to put more music. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about because it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you. Yeah, they need to put him into a what you want to call it, the Pope Mobile or the President bubble. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Harold, a lot of texters are saying that they're terrified of what is going to happen. Or yeah. It is weird. It is weird. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry. Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos. We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever. It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box. New York Times columnist David Polk says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. Legacybox.com/value. Straight Talk with Bill Frady. And don't kid yourself. Politicians are very malleable. They will bend public opinion. Don't forget, folks, you can get your comments into me here. You can just type away and it'll come up. It'll pop up on the screen. That's the first thing we got to do. We got to arrest this fall. We're in a free fall right now, falling into Marxism. We have to arrest that. We got to stop that now, Bobby. Straight Talk with Bill Frady. Now, weekdays noon to 3. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. The Charlie James Show, weekdays 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9. minutes ago, I was talking about the fact that they tried another assassination attempt on. Well, I suppose they didn't get as far. They didn't get quite as far as they have previously over in California. Um, there was a black SUV was stopped with a suspect in it. Suspect's name is Ven Miller, and he was driving the black SUV around 5 p.m., as I said earlier. They found a shotgun and handgun, and they said that there was obvious fake license plates, prompting deputies to investigate further, because there's no way they would have checked to see if there was anything in the car. No, they would have checked, because it's getting close to where the president, former president, and hopefully future president, was, where he was talking. Now, I know from personal experience when Barack Obama came to Ireland many years ago, when he was president of America, he came to Ireland, and there was so much done. He went to one town in particular, a small little town. Cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but there was so much preparation done. Anybody that wanted to go, I didn't go see him. I didn't want to go see him. Didn't really care for it at the time. Anybody that wanted to go see the president, sorry, him and Big Mike. Anybody that wanted to go, they had to get to the town very early in the morning. I think 5 o'clock in the morning. He was arriving at midday or 1 o'clock, and everybody was vetted. You couldn't bring your car to town. You just couldn't get in. There was Secret Service guys everywhere. Manhole covers were welded onto the ground. They couldn't be lifted up. The town that they went to, small little town, he was only there for about 45 minutes, an hour. It was turned upside down, inside out. Nobody could get anywhere close to it. Now, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Text line, Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Don't forget, I am available on the StreamYard as well, streaming live on Facebook on the Newstalk 98.9 WRD Facebook, if you want to have a look at the beard, because the beard is getting quite long. But I want to, how does somebody get that close to do that much damage? On the text line, the Democrats are scared to death that Trump is going to win, especially because of all the support for him is increasing. Yes, that is a thing. Black people, Hispanic, Muslim, they're increasing because they know how good he is. You may not agree with Donald Trump, you may not, but the man, he's a great leader. As I say, when I came to America first, he was in power and everything was hunky dory, Odi plate readers should have picked out the illegal number plates many times. Yes, it should have, because I'd say there was a lot of checkpoints. Something is not right. Something is definitely not right with that. Now, do we want another president that cannot talk? Okay. Now this is an if. Now, don't kill me. Don't get onto me. This is just a big if. If Kamala gets into the White House, she's already there as the vice president, and she's not really doing anything as it is. But if she gets into the White House and she becomes the president, okay, do we actually want her to represent our country? I am going to say no. I've talked about it previously. If her technology fails, she goes into shutdown mode and she keeps repeating the same line over and over and over again. She was doing a rally a couple of days back, and her teleprompter got stuck, and she just kept repeating the number 32. That's all she did. She cannot construct a sentence to talk to people. I have up here on one of the computer screens, loads of computer screens here in front of me. Up on one of the computer screens, I don't have a script. I have what I would like to talk about tonight. I've got 8 segments in my show. First segment, opening up, welcoming people. Second segment, talking about something different. I'm talking about this. So I have it up on my screen. I have little bullet points to talk about. That's it, bullet points, nothing else. I don't have talk to the person. I don't have that. I don't have that. But yet, Kamala Harris, who is going to represent, if she wins, she's going to represent the country, and she cannot ad-lib. I don't claim to be the smartest guy in the world. I've got degrees. I'm an engineer by trade. I've been working in different jobs, and I love this radio. I've been working in radio for years. very seldom get stuck on what to say. It's not the hardest thing in the world to talk to somebody, especially when you're trying to represent a country. I mean, we've had presidents that won't talk. Joe Biden, since Joe Biden has been the president of the United States, he has only held 33 press conferences. So that's 33 times that the president of the United States has told us what is happening in the country. Told us verbatim. Him himself saying it, not going to the press secretary, who you can tell she has aged. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. But she is having to do press conferences every single day in Washington because the commander in chief won't. He's probably not even telling her what to say. But he's only done 33. Now, Franklin D. Roosevelt, never met the guy, bit before my time. He managed to do twice as many press conferences in 1 year. So in 1 year, he did 66 press conferences. All right. In 1 year. Just 4 years he was there. A lot of press conferences. What's that? 66 to 260, 200, probably, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. You know, he was a master of communication. He was. But Sleepy Joe can't even talk. Sleepy Joe. I was very impressed with Sleepy Joe. This is the only time I was very impressed with Sleepy Joe. Only once in my entire life. In the entire 4 years that he has been president. He went to Ireland 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was last year. And he managed to do a 15-minute speech. Now, there was a few ums and a few ahs, and, you know, there mightn't have been properly correct facts that he was laying out. But he managed to talk for 15 minutes, and I was very impressed. I think he must have had a nice little nap for himself that he was able to keep going and keep talking. But anything I've seen of him in the last while, you know, he's not a public speaker. And that is what we need. That's Donald Trump is 100% a public speaker. He's well able to do it. Kamala Harris is not a public speaker. She does not, as I said, she cannot construct a sentence. I nearly did it myself. She can't do it. She's not able to. She just kind of laughs incoherently, doesn't answer a question. Have you ever been talking to somebody and you ask them a question, you ask them something straightforward, and they answer in a different way completely? It's like, Vice President Harris, how are you going to help fix the financial institutions that we have, and how are you going to help bring down the cost of a week's shop? Well, yeah, well, when my mom was, we grew up poor, and and she's just laughing, and she doesn't answer the question. Answer the question. Now, I know that Donald has a tendency to go off on little tangents, and he does, but he comes back and he answers the question. I mean, to me, I go off on tangents. I do. But Donald always comes back. I sometimes come back to them. I just think it's scary. When I come back, I'm going to be talking a bit more about Kamala and how well, she claims that she was poor. She's not poor anymore. Moments before the event began with a shotgun, loaded gun, and high-capacity magazine. The deputy eventually multiple names, multiple driver's license with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, and the license plate was what we in law enforcement would recognize as one that is homemade. Riverside County. Sorry, I'm listening to the news here. It's crazy. Hezbollah claiming responsibility for a deadly drone strike in Israel. Fox's Greg Palcott.
Was not intercepted. People were injured, some critically or seriously. This after this area has seen another wave of Hezbollah rockets all day.
4 IDF soldiers are dead, 7 injured. America's listening to Fox News.
Carolina's most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Puchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, it's 73 degrees.
To the good people of the Carolinas. Information that matters amidst all the noise. Political background noise.
Listen to what those local folks are telling you.
What impacts you.
The best coverage right here.
Updates at the top and bottom of the hour.
What's going on now?
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Are you tired of battling stubborn weight that just won't budge? Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Hirschhorn with New Life
Dun,
Weight Loss.
dun, 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 dun.
We focus on finding the root causes of your stubborn weight so we can tailor.
Sorry, I've loads of songs in my head bouncing around the place all the time. Does it sound okay on this? I think it should be fine.
It's a natural, sustainable approach to getting you healthy from the inside out. It's an affordable, comprehensive plan that teaches you how to eat real food, whether at home or on the go.
When I started New Life Weight Loss, I was cynical at first, but I went in open-minded. I listened to Dr. Elliott. I lost 44 pounds, 13 inches. Blood pressure is.
I don't know.
You listen, this will work for you too. Check them out. New Life Weight Loss.
If you're ready to uncover the real reasons for your stubborn weight, schedule your free consultation today. Before you commit to any other program, call New Life today at 864-203-4290 or online at mynewlifeweightloss.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on the floor legit?
Your one true love is
Me!
That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart. Heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino phone. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Attention, terrorists. Alarm. Here's terrorist dangerous.
Gardenia speaking. She will say anything.
You're very welcome back. Now, we were talking about the another assassination attempt. Another assassination attempt. Seriously. Just new information that came in there. Apparently, the suspect had multiple passports, not just one, multiple passports, and multiple driver's licenses in his vehicle. Was he a spy? Oh, have we uncovered something? As I said, not big into conspiracy theories, but the fact that this guy had a fake plate on his vehicle, multiple passports, multiple driver's licenses, probably all with different names. Maybe the name he gave is wrong. Maybe he's a spy. Some of the texters are saying inside job. I don't know. At this stage, I don't know. You know, something strange. Something's very going on. Sorry, I was reading one of the texts here. Um, it's yeah. I don't know. Now, as you know, linesmen are still continuing to work on the cleanup operation here in South Carolina and in North Carolina. And the EPS, the administrator of the EPS, he was giving a press conference earlier on, and this is what he was having to say. He had to say like about the water that is in North Carolina. This is what he had to say. Hold on, just press that one there, and you think I know how to push these buttons? There we go. I'm going to try it now.
Priority number one is to get clean, quality drinking water to everyone who doesn't have that. And so as we look at private wells and the water system, we want to be able to provide every single asset we have to provide good quality drinking water. And then we just saw the damage that has been done to this system here as well. Listen, this is an all hands on deck approach, and we're glad to be here, not under these circumstances, but glad to be here with a show of force that we're going to do everything that we need to do until every single person has clean water to drink and a wastewater treatment system that provides a safe and livable environment for them.
And that is the thing is, yeah, I know it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it may not be affecting us here in Greenville area. And there is still quite a few houses without power. I understand that. But you have to remember that in North Carolina, they're still cleaning up. There's still people without homes. Homes are gone, 100% completely gone. And we here at News Talk have decided to partner up with the Salvation Army to try and help as best we can in the Carolinas. I mean, you can give help and hope to Hurricane Helene survivors. You can join News Talk 98.9 WRD and the Salvation Army to help provide emergency aid, its food, its water, and long-term recovery here in the Carolinas. And it is a long-term recovery. It's not going to happen overnight. So if you want to give, you can give at rebuildcarolinas.org. Okay, rebuildcarolinas.org, and you can help out in any way, shape, or form that you can. If you can only give a little, give a little. If you're able to give a lot, give a lot. You can help out in any way, shape. As I said, there's a lot. The cleanup in around Greenville, Anderson, it's starting to look back to normal again. Everything is coming back to normal, but there's still a lot of homes, a lot of people that are without power. Hold on, I have the numbers here. I'll just go on to it and I'll see if I can get, we'll get the outage for Duke. Just click in and just bear with me for 1 second. Now, actually, wow. Okay, so I was looking at this last night, and up around the Asheville area last night, there was 15,000 homes without power. And this is just going to show you how good they're doing. There's only 8,000. I know I say only, but there's 8,000 homes without power in the Asheville area now. I mean, that is some serious work. You have to think about it, that when I was looking at the map last week, there was hundreds of thousands of houses. There was a lot of work. If you see a linesman, if you know a linesman, just buy him a beer, give him a hug. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If there's linesmen out there now listening to us, if you're working away and you happen to have the radio on, I really, really want to thank you so much for what you've done. I mean, you've been out there and you've been working in hard conditions, but thanks very much for all the help that you can. And as I said, if you want to help with our partnership with the Salvation Army, you can give whatever you can if you go on to rebuildcarolinas.org. Okay, check out the website, go on to rebuildcarolinas.org. Because not everything is back to normal again. You see it when you're driving around places. You see it. There's lots of debris. There's still lots of trees around. Be careful on the roads. Still be careful on the roads. There's still 1 or 2 traffic lights are still without power. So just be careful as you can. And I've talked to a lot of people about what happened, and a lot of people said, yeah, they were without power, but there was a good side to it because they started to talk to each other. They were sitting down in the houses. They might have had battery powered lights going, or they might have had, it might have been outside. The fire pit could have been going. I lit the fire pit up one of the nights. Just having a conversation, just talking to each other, getting back to talking to each other. And I talked about this. I'm a very big advocate for talking to each other, for talking your problems out. And I wasn't always. No, I wasn't always. You can ask my wife. I was stubborn. I was an idiot. I was a mule. I wouldn't. She'd say to me, "What do you think you need to have a chat with somebody? You know, you're a little bit down, or you're a little bit kind of." No, I'm fine. I'm grand. Typical man. Typical. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Typical man. Because we're stubborn. Men are stubborn. And I know there is loads of listeners out there listening at the minute saying, "No, I'm not." Yes, we are. We're stubborn. We are a stubborn breed. Everybody needs to have a chat with somebody. Everybody needs to talk to somebody. When we had no power, no electricity, no internet, there was no distractions. People were talking to each other. And we were talking to each other. And I've said before, if you feel the need to have a conversation with someone, so, and it's possibly you might need to have a conversation with somebody that isn't one of your friends. They're not one of your family members. They're not one of your colleagues. You know, a lot of people talk to their colleagues. They talk about this, that, and the other. And you may want to talk to somebody else. There's lots of help, lots of advice out there. It's not hard to come across. You can go onto Google and you can just type in counselors in my area. And you can have a chat with somebody. You can have a conversation with somebody. Very good friend of mine, Janet, over in Carpe Diem in Anderson. Chat to her all the time. You know, you can talk to people. There's always help out there. Never be afraid, never ever be afraid to ask for help, because help will be given. Any fan of the Hogwarts, you know, remember where Professor Dumbledore said, if you fail to ask for help, help will not be given. If you ask for help, it will be given. And I know I've talked about it, and I think I'm going to probably talk about it going, you know, as we go on, as more shows happen. I'm going to just remind people, first of all, everybody is fighting their own battle. Everybody is. I mean, you look at anybody in any way, shape, form, or life. Sorry, I'm after getting a text message from a very good friend of mine. He says, "I'm offended that you think I'm stubborn." And he is the most stubborn man I know. And I love the guy. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs help out there in every form of life. Everybody, you could look at somebody and say, "Oh, they have it made. They have, you know, oh yeah, Odi, look at Odi. He's got a radio show, and you know, he's got a good job, and you know, everything is going absolutely perfect for him." It's not. Some small little things, you know. Everybody needs help. Yes, I have talked about it before. Yes, I will talk about it again. If you want any more information, go on to my Facebook page. It's Odi_Fitzgerald on Facebook. Drop me a message. Drop me a private message. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to be broadcasted to the world. Drop me a private message. And, you know, I'll help you. I'll help you as best I can. We'll try and get something set up here in the station. I'll talk to the powers that be, and we'll try and get something set up that if you need to talk, and remember, everything is confidential. Everything. You know, we're gonna first of all, we're gonna help all the survivors from the hurricanes that passed through, and then we're going to help people in other ways and shapes and forms. On the text line, the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. It was nice to sit still in silence and read a book in the evening again, even if it was by lantern light. You see, the world needs to slow down. Yes, I know what I'm going to be talking about in a couple of seconds is not the world slowing down. It's not at all. It's how one man was able to do what the rest of the government wasn't able to do. We're talking about that when I get back. But yes, we do. We need to slow down. You're listening to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
rebuildcarolinas.org. Now, the Carolinas' most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Kuchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, it's 73 degrees.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value and get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies.
Oh, I need music.
Legacybox.com/value.
Mad World Haunted Attraction is now open. Voted one of America's top haunts and #1 in South Carolina. Located in Piedmont off I-85 exit 35. Grab your friends and get ready to scream. Buy your tickets now at madworldattractions.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs,
No.
Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
And now, a can't-miss moment from the Charlie James Show.
As the voters of this country might be robbed of the information we need to determine whether the man is guilty of the greatest crime any politician has been held.
Shut up, Chris Hayes. You are, oh, what a weenie. What a weenie. All of them are so afraid of Donald Trump that they will literally throw the constitutional baby out with the bathwater. That's what they want to do.
Don't miss the Charlie James Show. Weekdays 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9 WORD. Please.
Common Sense Retirement Planning text line is wide open, 71307. Get your thoughts into me now. I want to hear what you have to say. Remember, this is your show. Whatever you want to talk about, I will talk about. Shannon texts me from Shelby. She says, they allocate money to Lebanon without congressional approval. Yes, they do. But they refuse to allocate money without congressional approval to North Carolina. They could care less about the Americas and the just lust for power and the love of money. 100% right, Sharon. At a price, you'd get it. Seriously, I'm not messing. Why? We'll bring this down. We'll bring it down to local events, okay? We'll bring it down to something small, okay? Not saying that I need to, but I'm going to. If something happens in my house, okay? I'm the boss. No, I'm not. I'm not even slightly the boss. No. I'm not the boss in my house. If something happens in my house, my wife is going to say to me, Odi, this needs to be fixed. We'll get this fixed here in our house. and then we'll try and help something else. We had debris in the yard, and there was a few things knocked over after the hurricane. As I said, we were blessed that we didn't have that much. Nothing bad went wrong around the house. Our subdivision was locked in with trees for a while, and we helped clean that out. We cleaned up around our house, and then I went and helped somebody else. I went, checked on my neighbors, checked. You do that. You look after the people that are looking after you. Remember this, Kamala Harris. Listen to me and I'm getting angry. You listen to me for 1 second. Who are the people that voted Sleepy Joe in? Was it Lebanon? No. Was it let me think. Was it Ukraine? Did the population of Ukraine, did they vote Sleepy Joe into the White House? No, they did not. So stop giving them our money. Seriously. Look after people here. There is thousands of people in North Carolina that do not have a roof over their head that they can call their own tonight, but you're sending money to Lebanon. You look after your house first, then you look after everybody else. But for some reason, they don't want to do that. Shannon, this is what you done. You riled up the Odi. I was perfectly calm. No, but it's... You do. You have to look after yourself first. Someone has texted in, Odi, I drove towards Caesar's Head today. Some parts of the road were perfectly normal, and some parts, like the hand of God, reached down and knocked down 50 trees at one time. Could have been a tornado. Could have been a tornado. Sorry, I got a little bit heated up. Don't forget, you can get us on the stream as well. We are streaming live. Kathy was popping on and she said, found Word during Hurricane Helene, and I love it. Thank you very much. There's some great shows here on Word throughout the week. Mine is the first, Sunday is the first show. Yeah, that's me. Live show. First live show of the week. Thank you very much. I know you've got some amazing award-winning shows here on Word, so make sure you definitely tune in to all of those. Kathy goes on to say, it's so nice to hear common sense talk and hear from real people. Everyone is excellent. Thank you so much. And really like your accent too. Well, Kathy, I worked on that accent myself and I think I have it nailed down. But yeah, Harold on the stream said, yes, there shouldn't be another dime sent anywhere until there isn't a homeless or a hungry person left in the US. Yes, there should not. No more money should be sent out. Now, maybe this guy can do something about it. Maybe there is somebody that can do something about it. Were you watching the news this morning? Watching TV? Were you on Facebook, TikTok, all of them? You would see a rocket being caught in midair. A super heavy SpaceX Starship. That's what he's calling them. Why not? It's Elon's gig. Let him call it what he wants. But how is it that one man is able to now have, I won't call it a space program. It is a space program because he sends astronauts up. Now, he sends them up in conjunction with NASA. But how is it that one man, one person was able to do that? Yes, I know he has thousands of engineers working for him. He's got Tesla. He's got loads of other companies, SpaceX. But how is it that he was able to get everything right? So much that he has, after leaps and bounds, there's been leaps and bounds in space exploration because of Elon Musk and because of SpaceX. He's able to catch a rocket ship. NASA was never able to do that. NASA used to let them drop into the ocean, let them burn up on re-entry. I don't get it. I don't. They're calling the machine that grabbed it Machinezilla. So you tell me, is it a thing, right? Now, anybody that watched Independence Day, remember the movie with Jeff Goldblum? And his dad in the movie was played by, I can't remember the actor he was played by, and he was like, oh, well, how do you think they fund all this stuff? $10,000 for a toilet seat and $20,000 for a hammer. Where was the money going? I know it costs a lot of money to put someone into space. I know it does. But how is Elon Musk able to do it on his own? You know? On the text line, obviously, he is truly a brilliant person. Yes, he is. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. Now, I know he's after bringing out some robots. I'm not impressed with them. Excuse me. Not impressed with them. You know, we talked about it on the show last night. Maybe he's going down the road of, you know, Terminator and not, but no, he's not. But I just think it's amazing that an entire government organization was not able to do. They actually scrapped the shuttle project. Space shuttles. Remember space shuttles? Remember in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s? Can't remember when the space shuttle first went up. Yes, there was a Challenger disaster, which was a cover-up as well. I mean, they said new information has come out about the Challenger disaster, saying that the astronauts felt everything. I hate to hear that. Really hate to hear that. They're saying that the black box recordings for the Challenger could hear the astronauts, you know, talking and unfortunately screaming because they knew they were going to die. But that's space travel. I mean, you're going into the unknown. But why is it? Why is it that one man is able to get so much funding? It is crazy. I mean, I'd like to see the shuttles back in use again. Maybe Elon, if you're listening, Elon, my old buddy, I actually met him once. Nice guy, only for a split second. Elon, if you're listening, buddy, maybe you could get the shuttle back going again. Be really cool. Would be. I think it would anyway. It was a symbol of space travel. Yes, I know the Russians had a shuttle as well. Never got off the ground. No pun intended. I think they had one or two unmanned flights and it didn't really work properly. But just there's so much, like he's done so much in such a short space of time. Just imagine what somebody else could do if they really wanted to. If you know, if they wanted to, imagine what he could do. If there was no boundaries for Elon, imagine the crazy, amazing stuff he could do. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to give me a call, phone line is open, 800-905-0989. I can answer it now while the news is on. When I come back, I'm going to be telling you about something big, very big, that happened to me this week. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. I'm going to mute you for 1 second, guys. All right. Maybe I'm not going to because they got shy.
More than 230 people have died as a result of heat after it made landfall as a tropical storm. Former President Trump has criticized the Biden-Harris response to hurricanes recently, saying it was too slow and poorly managed. President Biden touring the damage in Florida today, many areas hit by both Hurricanes Helene and Milton.
Today, I'm proud to announce $612 million to 6 new cutting-edge projects to support communities impacted by Hurricane Helene and Milton.
Governor DeSantis has been working with President Biden on hurricane relief. America's listening to Fox News.
Interesting people are talking to Will King.
I said, what do I call you? I call you Dwayne. I call you The Rock. You said, now that I own it, I can call you The Rock.
Yes, I own it now. You can call me The Rock.
Our next guest needs no introduction. It is Dr. Jordan Peterson, my old friend and frenemy, Stephen A. Smith.
What is going on here? I see the Will King show in the background. I see the microphone. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com. Get the podcast 5 days a week on FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network, the Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, going far beyond the headlines, tapping into the massive reporting resources of Fox News to provide a full picture of the news of the day.
I'm Dana Perino.
I'm Brett Baer.
I'm Maria Bartiromo.
I'm Brian Kilmeade, and this is the Fox News Rundown. Subscribe and listen now by going to FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hezbollah claiming responsibility for a deadly drone strike in Israel. Fox's Greg Palcott reports.
A drone has hit in the Binyamin area. That's about 30 miles down the coast from where we are. Was not intercepted. People were injured, some critically or seriously. This after this area has seen another wave of Hezbollah rockets all day. 5 targeted Haifa. We have been watching an Israeli Iron Dome defense installation not far from us. Very busy.
Officials say 4 IDF soldiers were killed, 7 injured, 67 wounded total. The Pentagon announcing the U.S. is sending terminal high-altitude area defense battery to Israel, along with U.S. troops to operate it, despite warnings from Iran to keep U.S. military forces out of Israel. Most believe Israel is preparing a military response to recent attacks by Iran, including nearly 200 missiles fired into Israel on October 1st. 1 dead, 9 more injured after a shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. Officials saying it was not gang violence. Fox's Brian Dennis explains.
Police says instead it was 2 groups of people, quote, beefing with one another when one group began shooting at the other on opposite sides of the same street. Now, around 5 p.m., one of those 10 people shot included a 24-year-old man who was killed. The victims also include 2 12-year-olds and a 14-year-old. They all have non-critical injuries. Some were grazed with a bullet. Others are critical, though. At least one of the victims was involved in the actual gunfire and had a gun. Luckily, Nashville Fire Department first responders were already staged near the area for a homecoming parade for Tennessee State University earlier in the day.
Firefighters near the area say the shooting sounded like fireworks. Some first responders using belts as tourniquets. I'm Ann Karen, and this is Fox News.
Now the Carolina's most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. The meteorologist Jennifer Buchinski from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, it's 73 degrees.
It's the Labor Day sale for the Upstate Golf Card. Right now, you can get 7 rounds of golf for just $50. With the Upstate Golf Card, get access to premier Upstate courses like Greer Golf, The Rock, Pebble Creek, The Preserve and Verde, Carolina Springs, Rolling Green, Limso Tryon, and more. Grab your foursome and hit the course with the Upstate Golf Card. Order yours today at upstategolfcard.com. 7 rounds of golf for only $50 with the Labor Day sale. Get yours now at upstategolfcard.com. And now, welcome to
So, in case you missed it, well, you're very welcome back to the second hour of Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. In case you missed it, somebody tried to possibly assassinate President Trump again over in California last night, about 5 o'clock. That would be about 8 o'clock our time here in South Carolina. In California, a vehicle, a black SUV, was stopped around 5 o'clock heading towards the rally where Donald Trump was about to get on stage. They say that Vem Miller was in a black SUV. He had a loaded handgun. Doesn't say what kind of handgun. He had multiple rounds, multiple magazines, a shotgun. His vehicle registration tags, his license plates were fake. And when they searched the car, not only did they find the firearms, but they also found, get this, multiple, not just one or two, multiple fake driver's licenses and fake passports. Now, listen, folks, I'm not saying that this sounds really suspect, but so they tried it again. Anyway, hopefully they won't try it anymore, and everything will just flow smoothly. Now, actually, here's something now that I want to talk to you about. You know the way a lot of these famous actors are saying that if Donald Trump gets back into power, okay, if Donald Trump gets back into power, they're going to leave the country. They're going to leave America because, well, I don't think I could, stay in a country that, doesn't respect me because they got Donald Trump back into power. Yeah, look, if you're going to leave. But I've got a question for you. Where are you going to go? You've got all these people who are saying that if Donald Trump gets back into power, they're going to leave the United States of America and they're going to live somewhere that's better. Tell me where. If there's any Democratic people of the Democratic persuasion who don't like Donald Trump and they just happen to be listening to this radio station, it could happen. You may want to get all sides of the discussion. I want to hear where you would go. It's like all those kids that were in all of, and I'm not going to call them kids, because kids, kids are nice. Children who were in all of these Ivy League colleges, spending their parents' money to get a college education and then to have free Palestine and, back in all this. Go over there and protest. See what happens. No, seriously. Seriously, see what happens. You've got people here and they're saying, oh no, you need to save the Lebanon. Odi, you're talking rubbish. Yeah, Lebanon needs to be saved and people need to go over there. And I don't want to see wars. I don't. But all of these people who are protesting and they want to free all these countries and go there and see what happens. It's like all these people that say, as I said, that they want to leave America if Donald Trump gets in. Now, I know that there is a lot of Republicans listening to the sound of my voice at the minute. Hello, I'm one of you. Don't forget I'm one of you. I'm a newbie to this country, but I have embraced it big time. Okay? Yes, I was out hunting on Friday night. I saw a lovely deer. I didn't shoot it. It was too small. If Kamala gets back in, there's a word I call her that I can't call her on air. I'm not going to, but it just pops in my head every time I go to say Kamala Harris. There's something else pops into my head, but I have to stop myself. If she gets back into power, I'm just going to grin and bear it. I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do what I have to do. And I'm going to say, oh, this kind of sucks. I have to pay a little bit extra money for whatever because, she's going to put the prices of everything up. Not her herself, but her administration are going to say, oh, well, the gas prices need to go up $500 per liter because we need to be more like Canada and we need to have leaders. No, I'm not. I'm going to grin and bear it. I'm not going to say, oh, well, if Kamala gets into power, I'm going back to Ireland. I'm not, because I know what Ireland is like. It's as corrupt I'll just give you a small little story, right? There was a bus shelter type structure for bicycles because it rains a lot in Ireland. So if you park your bicycle, you need to park it under a structure where it doesn't get too wet, right? How much do you think it would cost a normal builder to build? We'll say it'd be like at the sheriff's department. It's a county building, and it's for the county workers. How much do you think it would cost? Give her a rough guess. Yeah, $400, $500, $600, maybe if it's a good one. $700 just to park your bicycles, push bikes, rallies. You know them. Yeah, in Ireland, a couple of weeks back, for the equivalent of $450,000. $450,000. I said it twice because you thought I might be stuttering or talking a different language. $450,000 it cost to build a bus shelter style facility to house bicycles. I think 7 bicycles could be parked in this little structure. And you say that America's corrupt. But that's what I'm saying. Where are these people that are going to leave America because Donald Trump might get into power, hopefully will? Where are they going to go? Not going to go to Europe. Have you seen what's happening in England at the minute? Have you seen? I'm not going to pick on any religions, but there are certain religions who have come to England now and they're protesting against England. They're protesting against the king. Now, look at myself and King Charles, we haven't seen eye to eye on the best of things. I'm not going to protest against them. I'm certainly not going to go to somebody else's country and protest against them. No. Why would I do that? I'm not going to protest against Camilla or Sleepy Joe. I will tell you the information that I've been given about them. Go to England, see how you liked it there. I know there's English people listening here. I know there's English people living here in South Carolina who left England because the way of life is better here. That's why I came here. The way of life is better. It's so much better here in America than it is anywhere else in the world. I have lived in a lot of countries. I'm Irish. We like to travel to a lot of different places. Texter says, I hope and pray that they take all of Hollywood with good riddance to them. I don't know about all Hollywood. Johnny Depp isn't a bad guy, like some of his movies. And then another texter says, they're actors. They should just act. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Texter said to me that Elon Musk, I was talking about Elon Musk and his SpaceX projects earlier on. Texter on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line said to me that Elon Musk is the 21st century's Da Vinci. Yeah, I'd be inclined to go along with that. Yeah, I kind of would. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, when I come back, I'm going to talk about something very exciting that happened in my life this week. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Oh, this one is a short ad break. It's only 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm a little bit ramped up tonight. I am. I'm a little bit hyper and a little bit kind of, yeah. Just a little bit. Look at just some things that I'm seeing are just really. Oh,
Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. And now a speech.
I just want to say
it's a longer ad than I thought it was.
Heart and brain. Who's with me?
The good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here's an exclusive for y'all on the stream.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
Isn't that cool? That's the deer I saw on Friday night. It's only a small little one, so I didn't shoot him. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool.
Call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
And now, a can't-miss moment from the Charlie James Show.
The Center for Immigration Studies found last year from January 2023 to December of 2023, 320,000 illegal immigrants were allowed to fly into the U.S. from their home country because they have an app. They have the one app that allows them to get in. Oh my gosh. This app was created to let migrants apply for parole in the U.S. They're just bringing them in wholesale now. Well, these people apparently, they went to the border and they were told, no, you can't.
Oh, I'm going to have toast when I go home. I have a hankering for toast. If any of you are tuning in, yes, I keep the stream going throughout the show. But yeah, I have a hankering for toast. I'm going to have toast when I go home. Maybe a bit of jam, butter. Yeah. Now, something very big happened to me over the week just gone. As you know, you may or may not know, this isn't the only job I do. Okay, I'm not just your friendly Sunday night radio host presenter. I do a bit on Saturday nights as well. Myself and Lonzo and the guys, we have a bit of fun on Saturday nights, and I have a lot of fun here on my show. Yes, my name is Over the Door. Yeah, I know. I want to thank. Actually, I really do. I want to thank the powers that be here in News Talk 98.9. He could be listening, but I don't know if I said it. I think I said it to him. I want to thank him for trusting me with this show, because it's a big deal. You know, it's the very first. Yes, I'm going to say it. It's the very first show of the week, because everybody knows the week starts on a Sunday. Yeah. Well, Sunday night at 8:00. That's when your week starts. Very first show of the week here on News Talk 98.9. I'm saying it that it is anyway, but you know, Joey may say his show on a Monday morning is the very first one. No. Sunday night is your first show. So I really want to thank all the powers that be for giving me the opportunity with this show. But as you know, I do a little bit more than this. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer. And on last Monday, I started in a new job. I started for a new manufacturing company. Not going to mention them. Started with them. Your first day, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know. You can text in on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Your very first day. Let me know what your very first day was like, wherever, if you're working now or if it's a first day that you remember from way back in the day. Let me know. Or if it was your very, very first day ever. So I've worked now for 3 different companies since I came to America. and I really like the place I am now. Really love it. You know, the other places have been fine. But I really love this. But trying to get a job, there's lots of work out there. There is lots of work out there. There is. I will say that there's a lot of different jobs out there. But, you know, when you want the right one, got in contact, went on to a website, and this company that I'm working for now, got in contact with them, and they got back to me pretty quickly. HR were fantastic. Got back to me and said, "Oh yeah, look, we'd like to bring you in for an interview, but we're going to have a couple of interviews first, and you know yeah." And they did a couple of interviews on the phone. Then I went in to see them, and they're like, "Yeah, no, that's great, good, good, good." Later that day, yeah, we'd like to offer you the position. Thank you very much. I was like, "Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much." Started working with them. Job done. Other places that you apply for. Now, this is something that has popped up, and a lot of people have said it to me, that it's very hard to get in contact with some HR. As I say, the place I'm working with now, and the HR here in the Odyssey building is fantastic. And the company I'm working for now, HR is brilliant. But some places, I applied for one or two places about a month ago, and they're only getting back to me now. You know, we'd like to have a little conversation. Sorry, too late. Off the market. I'm done. I'm out. Not working there anymore. I found a job, and then they're on the phone to you, and they say, "Oh, well, you applied to." Yeah, I applied about a month and a half ago or a month ago, and you never got back to me until now. But then I done a little bit of deep searching. I done a little bit of deep diving. There is a big company here in the United States. I'm not going to mention the name of them, but they're a big company. Okay. There's a few products. If you look in your house, there's probably about 5 or 6 products, maybe 7 or 8 products that is made by this company in different shapes or forms. They were trying to hire people. Okay. And they were getting no responses, and they couldn't understand why they were getting no responses. And you can look this up. You can look up online yourself. There was a massive company, and they were getting no responses. So the head of the company decided to apply for one of the positions, a medium position, middle management kind of thing, decided to apply for one of the positions himself. And within 15, 20 seconds of him applying, he was denied because they were not, whoever was over the HR department, they were just dropping, they weren't accepting people. So I won't say the name of the company, but he fired his entire HR company. They had to get a brand new HR division. That's just something that I've noticed, something that I saw. As I say, company I'm working for now, absolutely fantastic company to work with. Great company. Not going to mention who they are. Really enjoy it there. But I want to know about your first day. What is it like when you go in on your very first day? What kind of scariness is it? Because you're going to meet a lot of people. Now, someone saying to me there, Odi, on text line, Odi, why would you be afraid? You talk for a living. Yes, I do. But still, you have to go and you're shaking hands with loads of people. You're meeting loads of people and you're forgetting all their names. And, everybody's introduced to you and you're trying to find out where the canteen is and you're trying to find out where to go, what to do. And it is a daunting process, but it's all worth it in the end. It really is, because you start to get to know people and you build relationships with people. And it's all kind of, it becomes second nature. But I think as humans, when something is changing, when something new happens, when something new starts in your life, you're going to be a little bit kind of, I'm scared. And you do be. The very first night, 7 weeks ago on Sunday nights, I started here on Sunday nights with Odi Fitzgerald. Okay? 7 weeks ago. I got into the studio early, really early, ridiculously early. You're saying, Odi, but you've done radio for years. Yes, I have. But I've always been working with somebody. I've always had, I did a couple of late night shifts on my own. But the very first night I came in here on my own, terrified. Terrified. And then you realize that there is thousands, thousands of people listening to you. We cover a lot. News Talk here, the entire building cover a lot of people, a lot of different stations here. But News Talk cover a ridiculous amount of states, all of Carolinas, into Georgia. When the weather is right on a clear night, I've heard that we can be heard in a very special state down the south that looks like a kind of a panhandle. It's something to do with atmospheric disturbances and crazy stuff, but people have texted in. And don't forget that we are on the Odyssey app. If you want to, you can listen to us anywhere nationwide on the Odyssey app. So when I came in here my very first night to do this show, I was terrified because when it's your own ship, you're a little bit kind of like ship. I said ship. When it's your own ship, you're a little bit nervous of what's going to happen. But it was fine. Everything was great. And, all the texters, you're a great bunch. You text in some great stuff. But yeah, I want to know what your very first night was like, or your very first day, or your very first time you went into anywhere. And I do have phone calls coming in. I'm going to answer them during the ad break. But I want to get the feeling of what your very first day was like, because I think everybody has a little bit of a apprehension about their very first day. I think everybody has a little bit of nerves. And I think it's normal. I think it's a good thing. I think it keeps you on your game. I think it keeps you energetic and it keeps you a little bit kind of ready to go. And, you have that positive kind of crazy energy. And it's great. On the text line, someone says, Odi, I started my new job in 1993 for a Japanese company. And I had an open house on the day I was hired. And it was a textile in Greenville. There was a lot of food and a lot of liquor that I got to drink. Well, you see, that was 1993. Here, do you want to hear something really scary? 1993, I was 12. The reason I say that is a few years ago, I was given an apprentice. And he said, how long are you working? How long are you doing this kind of work? And I just said, 22, 23 years. And he says to me, I'm only 19. And yeah, it made me feel really old. Thanks for that, little buddy. Another texter says, I worked for them for 30 years, had a great time the whole way. And yes, it is a thing that your very first day, your very first anything is really scary. Always is. When I come back, let me tell you a little bit more information about the attempted assassination attempt of Donald Trump again.
Today, I'm proud to announce $612 million for 6 new cutting-edge projects to support communities impacted by Hurricane Helene and Milton.
The money will help restore power and make systems stronger. Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas says FEMA has enough money to fund the immediate needs of hurricane victims, but tells CBS's Face the Nation.
We need Congress to act swiftly to fund FEMA and specifically its disaster relief fund, because hurricane season is not over.
Congress not planning to come back to D.C. until after the election. America is listening to Fox News.
Now the Carolinas' most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Buchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, 72.
A lot could happen in a day.
This could be the worst storm this far in over a century.
Miss an hour, miss a lot.
To anyone in Milton's path, this storm will be catastrophic. It's going to be more dangerous, more deadly, and more catastrophic.
We are on the verge of an all-out war in Lebanon.
You have an opportunity to save Lebanon before it falls into the abyss of a long war.
Stay up to the minute.
The two-state solution died on October the 7th.
News Talk
The
98.9.
Israeli public will not accept a Palestinian state.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Mad World Haunted Attraction is now open. Voted one of America's top haunts and #1 in South Carolina. Located in Piedmont off I-85 exit 35. Grab your friends and get ready to scream. Buy your tickets now at madworldattractions.com.
October is here, and it's time to empty the shelter at Greenville County Animal Care with free pet adoptions. We have a great variety of loving dogs and cats, all spayed or neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. Fill your home with love by helping empty the shelter. GreenvillePets.org.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to experience something paranormal, supernatural, or unexplainable? Join host Jack Wagner on the podcast Otherworlds as he explores spine-chilling real stories shared by everyday people who have experienced something unexplainable. Listen each week for first-person testimony from people who have come face-to-face with something that can't just be explained away. Listen and follow Otherworlds, an Odyssey podcast, available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It is fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Polk says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
And now, a can't miss moment from the Charlie James Show.
He replied, yup, what the actual hell? Deal with it. It's happening, sis. And he said there is a movement, a serious movement, and you and your minions cannot deny it. So is Nikki Haley planning on doing something on the floor of the convention to try to pull off a coup against Donald Trump, the rightful nominee? And could she be wanting to use the term convicted felon Donald Trump as the platform to pull this coup off? Oh, I think so. Charlie, Nikki said she was going to vote for Trump, but she did not endorse Trump. I don't trust her one bit.
Police in Coachella Valley, California, have stopped what the sheriff there said that could have been the third assassination attempt on the former president Donald Trump. Deputies stopped a suspect, Vem Miller, in a black SUV around 5 p.m., about half a mile from the rally yesterday, and they allegedly managed to make it through. This is the one that gets me, is that he made it through whatever amount of checkpoints there was between him and half a mile from the venue with fake license tags, fake license plates. In the car, they found a handgun, loaded handgun, multiple magazines with full of bullets, and a loaded shotgun. They also found in the car fake driver's licenses. Again, I'll use this word, multiple. They found multiple, a few different fake driver's licenses and passports. They're getting nervous. They are getting nervous. I want to hear your thoughts on the common sense retirement planning text line 71307. You know, it's getting to that stage. It really is. As you know, up in North Carolina, they were hit really bad. We were hit extremely bad here in South Carolina as well. There was 25 deaths. Please forgive me if I'm wrong with that. During the Hurricane Helene, the devastation that she caused coming through the Carolinas, and they're still going through it in North Carolina at the minute. Well, we here in News Talk 98.9 have partnered with the Salvation Army as a way to help in the Carolinas. You can give people help and hope to Hurricane Helene survivors. You can join us in News Talk 98.9 WORD and the Salvation Army to help provide emergency aid, food, water, and long-term recovery here within the Carolinas. Give what you can. Okay, I'm asking you if you can give, if you have a little, give a little. If you have it, give what you can to rebuildcarolinas.org. That web address is rebuildcarolinas.org. Help out in any way, shape, or form that you can. All the information you need is on that website. Again, that website is rebuildcarolinas.org. And it's a joint effort with us here in News Talk 98.9 WORD and the Salvation Army. They're going to try and help provide as much emergency aid, food, water, and long-term accommodation as they possibly can. Now, you'll remember that a couple of weeks ago, last week I think it was, Joe Biden went to take a look at the damage that was caused in North Carolina. But here's the thing, okay? Joe Biden did not get out of his aircraft. He didn't even land. Anybody out there, you know, you're listening to me here. You know, we're just after 9:30 on a Sunday night. Lots of the roads were destroyed in North Carolina. Lots of the roads were destroyed. The only way to get to the survivors was via helicopter. Okay? Now, you know as well as I do, whenever Sleepy Joe travels in any of the vehicles, the airborne vehicles, whether it's Air Force One, Air Force Two, well, not Air Force Two, he isn't traveling now. He travels in the small Air Force One, and he also travels in Marine One, which is a helicopter. But when Sleepy Joe is flying around in the air, everybody else is not allowed to. It is a no-fly zone. There is fighter jets that go around with Sleepy Joe. Those guys are great. Fighter jets are absolutely fantastic. The pilots are great. But nobody else can fly. So when Sleepy Joe was going to take a look at the devastation in North Carolina, which, you know, all right, he actually went to take a look at it, but he could have landed and talked to people. He could have got out and he could have had a chat with people and not just fly around the airspace. Airspace, which was closed down from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so nobody else could fly because they didn't know exactly what time, because they can't know exactly what time the president is going to be flying over a certain area for security reasons, which I understand that 100%. But just remember that Joe was flying around in his aircraft, stopping everybody else from flying around. When I say everybody else, I'm on about the rescue helicopters, the people that were getting aid into survivors, the people that were transporting sick, injured, and wounded survivors out of the area. They couldn't fly. Very good friend of mine, he's a pilot, and he was telling me about that. I asked him would he come on the air. He said he doesn't want to. And I can understand. He's been traumatized big time. And he said he could not fly on, I'm not sure what day it was. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. He could not fly. He could not get his helicopter airborne because there was a no-fly zone in place. Just remember that also on the 5th of November. Okay? Remember that on the 5th of November. Also, Sleepy Joe was told not to do it. and he did it anyway. I don't know if he was told what would happen when he was airborne. I don't know if it was explained to him. Maybe it was. Maybe he fell asleep halfway through it. I don't listen. I'm fed up of saying, "Oh well, he's the president, and you have to treat him with respect." He doesn't treat us with respect. I'm sorry. I get very angry when I'm thinking about it. But helicopter pilots paid their own money to fuel their helicopters to give as much support as they possibly can. And I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful. There was so many people who were, helping with their own money. And then all of a sudden the president decides, well, I want to fly around for a while and I want to stop all that from happening. Remember that on the 5th. And they went down to, I'm glad that they're going to these places, but get out of your aircraft. Get there quick, land, talk to the people, get back onto your aircraft and go home. Because you're not doing a whole lot else. Go see the devastation. Go see what happens. Stay in the area if you need to. Don't disrupt any person trying to help somebody else. But then again, why would they not when they're giving all the money away? Yes, they're giving $6 million, I think $6 or $8 million to hurricane relief funds. But remember, folks, recently the Biden administration gave $185 million, $185 million to Lebanon. How does that make you feel? Because you can tell that it makes me, if the FCC wasn't involved, I would say words that are not allowed to, because it really aggravates me. The fact that money is being sent out of this country. I know I talked about it in the first hour, and I'm talking about it again now. Someone on the text line says, Odi, don't apologize when you're right. Okay, I won't. Why are they not? Why is there not foresight? When Donald went to North Carolina to take a look at the devastation that happened, he didn't shut down any airspace. He did not shut down any airspace. He flew into, I'm not sure where he flew into, but he had a convoy of vehicles, because he needs a convoy of vehicles, because remember, he is the former president, so he needs a convoy of vehicles, because an idiot tried to off him 3 times. 3 different idiots tried to kill him. Possibly. I'm going to say possibly. Just remember that on the 5th. Now, as well, remember, you can vote early. Early voting starts this Thursday. If you're not sure if you're able to vote, you can register online. Now, I was looking at this myself, and they're not asking for proof of citizenship. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Any long-time listeners to the show will realize that Odi is not yet a citizen, even though I'm a very strong advocate for America. Not yet a citizen. I'm a permanent resident. Maybe I'll give Sleepy Joe a ring and ask him, can I vote? But if you want to register online, it requires your South Carolina's driver's license or a DMV ID. All you need to do is go on to scvotes.gov. You can do it on the same day. You can register to vote. If you haven't registered, okay, here's the thing. If you haven't registered to vote, think about me. Okay, if you're out there, if you're listening to me now, I see you. Yeah, you right there. Yeah, you. Have you registered to vote? If you haven't, I want you to think about me. I want you to think about Odi. Okay? Odi can't vote. Odi does not have the right to vote because I'm not yet a citizen of America. I'm working on it. Very soon I will be. But as of now, I don't have the right to vote. I want America to be great again. America is a great country. Yes, it is. But I want America to be great again. Because as I've said on multiple shows, back in the day, everybody wanted to go to America because it is so awesome. That's why I'm here. So if you cannot vote, and don't say to me, Odi, oh man, my vote isn't going to count, man. Yes, it is. Your vote, everybody's vote counts 100%. So if you're not going to vote, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Not going to tell you who to vote for because I can't, right? I cannot. But let's make America great again. That's all I'm going to say on that. You know? Listen to News Talk 98.9. WRD, the voice of the voters.
Carolinas. Please give at rebuildcarolinas.org. Now, the Carolinas' most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Puchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, 72.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Straight Talk with Bill Free. The way the government is running now, it's nothing more than a collection of unethical people given legal immunity for doing something that would otherwise be thought to be criminal. So in exchange for a little law and order and prosperity and peace, people look the other way while the bureaucrats steal their property, a la taxes, intimidate them with threats of force, a la the FBI stash fish, and occasionally sacrifice their children for the greater good, which would be a war. And as soon as they are celebrating something wonderful instead of something that should always be dreaded, these same bureaucrats break free from their dungeons and anoint themselves as kings. And then they come up with new elaborate schemes to pillage and plunder and endanger you without any remorse at all. No tax is too high, no mandate or fiat is too grotesque, no life is too precious. In the Mayorkas world, bureaucrats mark order, citizens comply, and the government tells them what you may own, and armed IRS agents confiscate.
Straight Talk with Bill Frady. Now weekdays noon to 3.
News Talk 98.9
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas. Straight Talk with Bill Frady. The authoritarians out there, they're looking at this fantasy of absolute control, which I don't even know how that actually even ever gets close. And Trump is part of that system in several ways, but a part of him also, stands outside of it, and his presence alone symbolizes both directly and indirectly, whether it's deliberate or not, the non-conforming individual will of hundreds of millions of individual Americans with individual lives, individual families, individual businesses, individual wealth, just being individual. All of that combined is what makes him the real freak. Because if you think about this, the founding fathers, none of them had the time to work in an institutionalized setting prior to our founding. They held office and all this other stuff, but nothing like what we see today. And of all the people that have held office recently, probably the closest one to them is Trump. So like him or not, he's probably closer to what your philosophy is, and you may care to.
Straight Talk.
Hi, very welcome back to the final segment of my show. I got a text in from a very good friend of mine a couple of minutes ago. He said to me, Odi, I took the boys. He's got three sons and a little girl. He said took the boys to register last month. One of the boys was able to register. He was able to register then, and his 18th birthday isn't until next week, because you have to be registered 30 days before the election. Maybe you're right on that, but I know that you can register. Maybe the deadline is out. I tell you what, I'll look into that and I'll have a definite answer for you as soon as I can. But yeah, no, if you're not registered to vote, get out there and register. Get registered to vote as quick as you can. Okay, because there's people here. There's a lot. There is a lot. You may not think it, but there is a lot of people in the same boat as me. They are legal in the country. You know, we came into the country the right way, the correct way. We, you know, we, a lot of people don't believe it when I say this, but we paid a lot of money to be Americans. Okay. I'm not giving out, not giving out. My way of life has increased tenfold since I came here to America. But yeah, get out there and vote. Please get out there and vote. Your vote will count. 100% your vote will count. We need to do something. Okay. We have to do something. So if you're thinking, as I said previously, if you're thinking, I don't know if I should vote, and it's really hard for me to drive the 4 miles to the polling station, and I've no one to mind the kids, and there's lots of stuff I can't do, and when you go to vote, the people that are running the polling stations, how happy they will be to see you coming down and having a little vote. See how many little stickers they're going to give to your kids. You bring your kids. Or mom, head down and vote now. And when dad comes home later on, he'll vote. Vice versa. If you've got one kid, what's the problem? Don't see the problem. Bring him vote. Bring your kid to vote. He can pretend he voted as well. Get out there and vote. 5th of November is when it's going to happen. 5th of November. Get out. I cannot say this enough. Get out and vote. Text line 71307. Odi, I'm going to go vote. There you go. See? That's it. Actually, while you're there, why don't you text me who you're voting for? Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Just look at this is all confidential. I'm not going to share it with anybody else. Let me know. Let me know who you're voting for. I'm interested. A bit of educational reading for me on a Sunday night. Can be while I'm editing the show, putting it up on the podcast. I'll take a look. I'll be, oh yeah, okay. There's one more for him. Yeah, another one for him. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. Now, what were you doing at 4:48 this morning? Yeah, Sunday morning, 4:48. I was sleeping. Was I sleeping? Yeah, I was. I was fast asleep. Passed out. Nothing was going to wake me up. Not even a 2.2 magnitude earthquake that happened just 7 miles outside Greenwood. Did you feel it? 2.2 magnitude earthquake happened at 8:48 this morning outside Greenwood. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources told us happened about 2.5 miles beneath the surface. So, I mean, I don't think anybody was down 2.5 miles. Text lines just after exploding with the Right Honourable Donald J. Trump, because I was asking people. As I say, I'm not telling how many people. I'm not saying numbers. It's just yeah, there it is. Also, somebody said, "Odi, we need a 3-hour show." Well, I can talk to people about that, and I'd like to do a 3-hour show for you. I would. This was the 18th confirmed earthquake in South Carolina after 28 earthquakes were recorded in 2023. This is not something that I thought would happen here in South Carolina. I hear about the San Andreas Fault in California getting earthquakes all the time, and I hate to hear it because, earthquakes are scary. But there was an earthquake that I remember, I think it was 4 years ago. Myself and my wife were lying in the bed. It was early in the morning, and next thing there was rumble, rumble, rumble. And my wife slapped me and she said, "Was that you?" She thought she thought I was making man noises. Turns out it was an earthquake. But yeah, I don't remember that one either. I will sleep through a lot of things, apart from my dog's barking. Well, one dog now. I've only one dog left. Yeah. Uh, any listeners to the show will know that I had to my German Shepherd Duke, who I've had for 11 years. Well, I had to put him down a couple of weeks back. So that was a heartbreak. Yeah, I hated that, but he got him cremated, so his ashes are in the house with us, and he's there with me every day. But we still have Finn. Finn is out in the yard, and he's a great little dog. He's my border collie, and if anybody comes into the yard that shouldn't, he lets me know. And if deers come into the yard, or skunks, or snakes, or absolutely anything like squirrels, he barks and lets me know. But I love him. I love Finn. But Duke, yeah, Duke was my special boy. I've had him for a long time. Odi, I am voting for Trump all the way. Voted first time and second time, and this is now going to be the third time. Thank you for that one, Texter. Odi, years ago when our three boys were little, I took all three of them with me to vote. Now, there you go. Thank you very much, Texter. There is nothing stopping you. As I said, people, if you've worked in a polling station, you can text me in on 71307. Let me know. Do you like to see little kiddies coming with the parents to vote? Yes, you do, because it teaches them that they need to go and vote. That's what we're going to say. And next week, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to tell people to vote, tell you to vote. Get out there and vote. Vote in your thousands, millions. Get there and vote. Yeah, thank you very much. Someone just said, Odi, very sorry to hear about your dog. Yep, they do. They hold a massive place in your heart. 6.7 is the strongest quake that I've ever been in. He was there. Texter was there. Oh, that is terrible. That is terrible. A 6.7 near Tokyo. That's a big one. Another texter said, my friend wanted me to let you know that she and her husband are voting for the Donald as well. So, yeah, like to hear that. It's a great thing to hear. Thanks very much to everybody that participated on the stream, on the text line. Sorry I didn't get to one of the calls. I got to them late. Joey is going to be here tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock. Make sure you're staying tuned and up and early. And then, of course, Tara will be here. Mike, Bill, and Charlie will be wrapping up the day. That's all from me. We'll be back next week. Slán Awalya. Bye.
Arrested at a security checkpoint outside former President Trump's rally in California yesterday. Police say he was carrying guns, ammunition, and a fake passport. Fox's Jill Nato with the details.
The 49-year-old man was driving an unregistered black SUV with what police say was a homemade license plate when he was pulled over. Riverside County deputies say they found weapons as well as several passports and driver's licenses with different names inside that SUV. Sheriff Chad Bianco wouldn't say what he thought was going through that driver's mind, but said, "We know we prevented something bad from happening." The man was arrested on suspicion of possessing a loaded firearm and possession of a high-capacity magazine. He's been released on $5,000 bail. Jill Nato, Fox News.
At a rally in Arizona today, former President Trump says the Biden-Harris administration could have stopped the influx of migrants across the U.S. southern border with an executive order.
What I said to the Border Patrol is right just a minute ago. All the president has to do.
Howdy.
All she would have had to do is wake up.
Yeah, come on ahead. Oh, no, we're off here. You're good.
Say, Joe, get your ass.
I'm surprised you didn't hear me shouting. Yeah, no, I'm literally just after going off here. What's your name?
I'm Kanika.
Kanika, nice to meet you, Odi. Yeah. Thanks very much for cleaning up after us. I know we're animals in here.
This is actually my cleanest building I clean.
Really?
Yes. I clean a lot of warehouses.
Ah, okay, okay, I got you. You're very late. You're normally this late, are you?
Usually I'm later.
Oh, really?
I usually do third shift, so I usually start at 2 a.m. work till 6. So I don't have like a long
Right.
work shift,
Right.
but I have multiple buildings.
I got you. I got you. Well, I finish my show at 10 o'clock. So anytime after 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
But even if you come in slowly, it's fine. Yep.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for what you do. You too. Don't work too hard now.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
President Biden in Florida today to see for himself the damage caused by recent hurricanes. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson with the latest.
He was not greeted by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was absent on the ramp when President Biden left Air Force One. Also absent Senator Marco Rubio. But here's who was there. Florida Senator Rick Scott, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who, of course, represents some of these hardest hit areas outside of Tampa. The president announcing today a new more than $600 million initiative to help power companies. They want to bury some of these lines. President Biden aboard Marine One, touring the devastation overhead, and that includes flying over Tampa and the Tampa Bay Rays baseball stadium, which had its roof ripped off. Remember, that's where they were going to house some of the first responders.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis remains cooperative with the president, but has not accepted calls from Vice President Harris, claiming she has political motives. Israel pushes into southern Lebanon in response to ongoing rocket attacks from Iranian-backed Lebanese terror group Hezbollah.
5 Hezbollah rockets fired from Lebanon. No reports of injuries. So far this day, Israel says 115 rockets have been shot. More Israeli units entered today. More towns facing evacuation. Israel claims to have killed militants, found weapons. 25 Israeli soldiers were said to be injured there. And there are issues between the UN peacekeeping forces in southern Lebanon and Israel. Israeli tanks reportedly smashed in a UN base gate. 5 UN soldiers have been injured in the last few days.
Fox's Greg Palcott, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu demanding those UN peacekeeper troops evacuate from southern Lebanon. And the Pentagon announcing it would send a missile defense system to Israel and also deploy 100 troops to operate it. I'm Kathleen Maloney. This is Fox News.
Now, the Carolinas' most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 60. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 75. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Buchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, 72.
The Mike Gallagher Show. He's your happy conservative warrior.
Why can't Justice Alito's wife have the opinion that our nation is in distress?